DTI fam, what is good? Welcome back to another run thought. I have 7 easy miles today. I'm currently 6 into that run, but I keep having very similar thoughts, and the thoughts are kind of like blurring into each other, and at risk of losing my train of that thought and where I want to take it, I just want to hop on and speak to it before I finish up this run. So the concept that I want to talk about today is dreams, and I'm being very specific in saying dreams and not goals, because I feel like while they can very well be synonymous, they are not always synonymous. A goal that I have is to run a sub 3-hour marathon. A goal that I have coming up very soon is a sub 125 marathon, or half marathon, sorry. Like I said, scrambled here, really want to get this out though. But these things are goals, but they're not, I wouldn't classify them as dreams. When I think of dreams, I'm thinking very big, like pictures and visions for my life, rather than just something that's in the short term that I'm putting progressive movement and work toward. So where I want to go with this is kind of twofold. One thing that I actually am not sure that we touched on the podcast, but I spoke to Freddie about it in regards to some big things that we are currently working on in the back end, is the fact that we allot certain amounts of times for things. When we set these are goals. When we set these goals, we put a certain amount of time on it. So let's say, like, for example, I am working on a book and I want to have it done by the end of the year. Realistically, I know that that is possible, but there's also a part of me that needs to get into a flow, needs to get into a routine, needs to have time for iteration, time for inspiration. Because of that, this rule that I've been hearing about and actually applying is that we need to double the amount of time that we give some of these things. And so I think that this does apply for dreams as well. And so, like I said, dreams is something that I'm looking at long term, a vision for the way that I want my life to be. And so this can be a point in your career that you want to hit in a certain time frame. Or like me, it can be this dream of becoming a published author. It can be a dream of building the home that you want, the life that you want, the family that you want, all of these things. And humans tend to put these timelines on things, and very rarely do we fit into these timelines. And because of that, we find discouragement and we find disappointment, and we find all of these things. And for a very big majority of these people, it pulls them away from those dreams. It pulls them into a life of commonality, into a life of average. And if there's one thing that I preach, is that I am not average. I do not want to be average. I want to live a life that is beyond my wildest dreams. As big as I dream, I want it to be even bigger than that. And so that goes into the second fold part of it. And this is never going to be something that's comfortable for me. I don't know why, but it's when I talk about my faith. You know what? I'm not going to say that. Sometime it is going to be comfortable for me. And I'm right now in a season where I'm getting used to it, to doing it more. But I heard something today in a book that I'm listening to about how if you're not dreaming big enough, it is disrespectful to God. He wants us to dream so big, so impossibly, that the only way that it even makes sense is that divine intervention. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to rework the way that I think about the dreams that I have. And while I do have these wild, outlandish dreams, I always seem to minimize them and put them into a box where if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be disappointed. Or if it doesn't do this, I'm not going to whatever. But ultimately, I'm trying to get myself wrapped around the idea of dreaming so freaking big that the only way these things are possible is through God. And so one of the things that I'm really working on is praying for it and then working for it at the same time. I want to pray for these wildest dreams. And this is somewhere that I know I struggle with. Other people probably struggle with this as well. I am not alone in really anything in life. And it's the fact that always coming to God asking for things. But he wants us to ask for these big things because he wants to get the glory when these things come to life. So that is just where I'm at, praying for these big dreams of mine, but then putting the work in behind them as well, but being okay with the fact that it's not going to happen in my time. I'm going to put a double the time limit just because I know that realistically that's what I have to work towards, but ultimately it's in God's time anyway. And so being able to pray for these things, being able to give praise for the ability to work towards them is something that I'm really, really trying to hone in on. And this may have been all over the place. I might be rambling now, but I just want to get on here and speak. Like I said, I've been running and I have all these thoughts and I just want to get them out. So if you took anything out of this, cool. If not, apologies for wasting 6 minutes of your day, but these are run thoughts and it's just where I'm at. I will elaborate deeper on these in newsletters and podcasts, but that's where we're at today. So much love as always. Kill the rest of the week, y'all. Go get it. Peace.